Hari Om. I welcome you all. I request all of you to sit straight, close your eyes, join your hands, take a deep breath for 3 times, followed by Om. Om. Sagana Vavatu Sanau Bhunaktu Sagaviryankaravavagai Tejasvinavati Tamastu Mavid Vishavagai Om Shant Dishant Dishantihi Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Dear children, in the last science class, we have started with the lesson Reproduction and Modification in Plants. Under that, you have learnt the different parts of the flower and different types of flower, sexual reproduction method, pollination and fertilization in your last class. Today, you are going to know about the asexual reproduction taking place in plants and also to understand what are the modifications that occurs in the plant parts. So let us learn these topics today. Asexual reproduction of plants, modification of plant parts. There are about 3 modifications of plant parts: root modification, stem modification and leaf modification. Let us learn one by one.
This is Reuben, a 12-year-old boy. He is off for his morning walk.
This seems strange. Can we grow new plants without seeds?
New plants can be grown even without the seeds. We know that the process of producing young ones is called reproduction. The young one looks similar to the parent plant. There are several ways by which plants produce their offspring, or young ones. These are mainly divided into 2 types: sexual and asexual. The sexual mode of reproduction involves the fusion of the male and the female gametes to form seeds that eventually develop into a new plant. The seeds are formed inside the fruit. On the other hand, in the asexual mode of reproduction, a new plant is grown from any other part of the plant other than the seeds. So, how does asexual reproduction take place? There are different methods by which plants reproduce asexually. They are vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, and spore formation. Let's look at each of these methods in detail. We know that most plants have roots, stems, and leaves. These are called the vegetative parts of the plant. When new plants are produced from these parts, the process is called vegetative propagation.
Is it possible to grow new plants like this?
I guess so. The rose plant can be grown by cutting off a part of its stem with 2 or more nodes and planting it in the ground. A node is a part of the stem from where a leaf arises. This stem grows into a new rose plant. Plants using the vegetative method of propagation include sugarcane, banana, and grapes.
This plant looks so different. It has small leaves growing on bigger leaves.
These are the buds of a bryophyllum plant. This plant has buds on the edges of its leaves. When the buds come in contact with moist soil, each bud is capable of growing into a new plant. The plants that use buds for vegetative propagation are potato, ginger, and turnip.
That's surprising. There was only a small green patch a week ago. Today the complete pond is green in color.
Algae, the simplest green plants, are thread-like and grow in ponds, lakes, and stagnant waters. They float on the surface of the water. They reproduce by a method known as fragmentation. An alga breaks up into smaller fragments. Each of these smaller fragments grows into a new independent alga. This process is continuous, and hence the algae covers a large area in a short span of time.
That's surprising. There was only a small green patch a week ago. Today the complete pond is green in color.
Algae, the simplest green plants, are thread-like and grow in ponds, lakes, and stagnant waters. They float on the surface of the water. They reproduce by a method known as fragmentation. An alga breaks up into smaller fragments. Each of these smaller fragments grows into a new independent alga. This process is continuous, and hence the algae covers a large area in a short span of time.
It's been quite some time since I had bread and eggs. Oops! This is an old loaf of bread. I remember buying this a week ago. It has gone bad. There is some cotton-like mass on it.
This white mass on the bread is called mold. It is a type of fungus that grows on moist organic surfaces like leather shoes, moist walls, etc. This fungus reproduces by means of spores. These spores are very light and are covered by a hard protective coat. That is the reason why they can survive in extreme conditions like high temperature and low humidity. As these spores are very light, they float and cover long distances in the air. When they fall on a suitable medium, they germinate and develop to form new plants. A few other examples of plants that use the same method of reproduction are ferns and moss.
I'm starving. Let me treat myself to some bread and eggs.
Congratulations.
Dear children, I hope you have understood the concept of asexual reproduction from the video. What is asexual reproduction? The production of new plants without the involvement of pollination and fertilization is known as asexual reproduction. So, the asexual reproduction are of 4 types: vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, and spore formation. What is vegetative propagation? A new plant arises from the vegetative parts of the plant. Examples: potato, sugarcane, yam. What is called budding? In yeast, a small protuberance or outgrowth which gradually grows and detaches from the parent cell. This process is called as budding. What is called fragmentation? Spirogyra is a filamentous algae. When it matures, the filament divides into pieces. Each filament can grow into a new filament. This process is called fragmentation. Spore formation. What is spore formation? Scarcity of water, high temperature, nutrient deficiency in soil, etc. are some of the unfavorable conditions. During these conditions, Non-flowering plants like algae, fungi, moss and ferns, they produce spores. They germinate into a new plant when favorable condition returns. This we call it as a spore formation. Dear children, next we are going to see a topic called modification of plant parts. So what is called modification? In some plants, root, stem and leaves change their shape and structure to perform special functions like storage of food, mechanical support, protection and other important functions. This is called as modification. So the action of changing or modifying the plant parts is called as modification of plant parts. First we are going to learn about root modification. So what is root modification? In order to perform special functions in the roots can change their shape and size. So root modification can be done for 4 different purposes. In order to store food, the root can be modified. And in order to give mechanical support to the plants or trees, the root can be modified. In order to exchange gases also, the root can be modified. And additional functions like sucking of nutrients, the new roots can be modified. Let us learn one by one. First, storage of food. So look at this: radish, turnip, beetroot and carrot. They all grow under the soil. As soon as it pluck it from the ground, if you wash them gently, you will notice small roots dangling from their surface. All these vegetables are in fact roots of plant. Instead of thin, slender roots, they have become a place to store the food produced by them. Hence they are thick and swollen. One can notice that the taproot of radish is in the shape of the spindle, swollen in the middle and tapering at both ends. Such type of modified roots are called spindle-shaped roots. At times, like in the case of turnip and beetroot, the taproot can occur a shape of top, that is spherical at the base and tapering shortly towards the apex. They are called as top-shaped root. In case of carrot, the shape is conical, broad at the apex and tapering gradually towards the base, and such modified roots are called conical shaped roots. In order to give mechanical support to the plants, the roots are modified to provide mechanical support as seen in the banyan tree. Example, prop roots. Then we have to talk about silt roots. In sugarcane and maize, adventitious roots arise from the nodes in cluster at the base of the stem. These roots are called stilt roots, which give additional support to the plant. Then climbing roots. In beetle and black pepper, nodes or internodes bear roots which help in climbing. So there are 3 types of mechanical support roots: prop roots, stilt roots and climbing roots. The next function is gaseous exchange. Avicennia is a tree which grows in mangrove or swamps. They have roots which are seen above the ground for the purpose of gaseous exchange. These roots are erect, peg-like structures with numerous pores through which air circulates. These roots are called breathing roots or pneumatophores. Additional function. Hesatoria roots. Roots may also perform some special functions. Hesatoria, are otherwise called as sucking roots, are one such examples. Cuscuta, a parasitic plant, climb the trees and other vegetation and use the hesatorial roots to penetrate the tissue of the host plant and suck nutrients from them. They are usually found in parasitic plants that depend on the host plant for nutrients. Next, we are going to see about stem modification.
Of the stem. Have you you ever stop to take a look at the plants around you and think about the stems? The stem is the ascending part of the plant bearing branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits. Stem has two parts, nodes and internodes. Nodes are the parts of the stem where leaves are grown, while internode is the portion between two nodes. Besides this, stems undergo modifications in order to perform the additional function like storage, support, vegetative propagation. In this video, we will learn about the different modifications of a stem. Number 1. Aerial modifications. It is the modification to aerial stems and floral buds of plants which perform the functions such as climbing, protection, synthesis of food, etc. Different examples of the aerial modifications are tendrils. They are the modified axillary buds of the stems. They are slender and spirally coiled. It helps the plants in climbing. Examples: vitis. Phyloclad. Plants of arid regions modify their stems into flattened structures to reduce water loss called phyloclad, resembling leaves. Example: Phyllanthus. Thorns. Axillary buds of stems sometimes get modified into woody, straight and pointed structures called thorns. Example: Hygrophila and Cresa. Bulbils. A small bulb-like structure, in particular, one axil of the leaf which forms a new plant if fallen. Example: Agave. Cladode. They are flattened leaf-like stem consisting of one internode only. Example: Opuntia. Number 2. Sub-aerial modifications. These are the modifications of stem for vegetative propagation, and they are of following types. Runner. It is a stem portion of the plant that tends to grow horizontally as opposed to upright like the main stem. The end tip of the runner produces buds that develop into a new plant. Example: strawberry and oxalis. Stolon. The stems which grow at the soil surface or just below ground that form adventitious roots to the nodes and new plants from the buds. Example: hawkweeds. Offset. They are just like runners but are short and thicker and is found in aquatic plants. Example: Ecornia crecipes and Pistia stratiodes. Suckers. The plants developed from other underground parts are called suckers. Example: Chrysanthemum mentha. Rhizome. These are the continuously growing horizontal underground stem which puts out lateral shoots and adventitious roots at intervals, but is divided into nodes and internodes. Example: ginger. Tubers. They are a much thickened underground part of a stem or rhizome, serving as a food reserve and bearing buds from which new plants develop. Example: potato. Corm. The corm, sometimes called as rock bulb, is a condensed vertical rootstock with large apical buds. Adventitious roots may grow either from the base or all over its body. Example: gladioli. Bulb. It is an underground modified bud with a reduced stem and fleshly scale leaves growing from it. Example: onion and garlic.
Modification in leaf. Normally, the leaf's purpose is to exchange gases and also to prepare food for plants through photosynthesis. But in some plants, these leaves are modified into some other plant parts to perform some functions. These thing we call it as a leaf modification. The leaf modifications are of different types. There are 4 different modified categories. The first category is the leaf is modified into spine. Second one, leaf is modified into tendrils. Third one, leaf is modified into pillode. Fourth one, leaf is modified into traps. Let us learn one by one in detail. The first thing is modification of leaves to spines. In deserts, the availability of water is less. We know plants release water from roots to all the parts of the plant, and thus the transpiration also occur in most of the leaves. In some plants, the transpiration also done, but in the modified leaves. The leaves are thus modified into spines. These green stems, they perform their photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? The green stem can able to prepare food for the plant. This is called photosynthesis. Thus, modification of leaves to spines performs photosynthesis. One more example is opentia. Opentia is a plant which have spines or the surface of the plant. The next one is modification of leaves to tendril. Some plants have very weak stem and cannot stand on itself. These string-like structures, we call it as tendrils. These tendrils helps in climbing and gives support to the plant. Tendril help the plant to climb on a support efficiently. In Glorissa superba plant, the leaf tip is modified into tendrils. This leaf tip of the Glorissa superba species plant modified to tendrils. One more example is lily plant. This is also belong to this category. In Pisum sativum, the terminal leaflets are modified to tendrils. The next modification is modification of petiole to leaf. We know a small portion beneath the leaf is called as petiole. In some plants, these petioles are modified. These petioles will become flattened and widened. This is the modified form of petiole to leaf. It is present in the plant called phyllodes. These phyllodes are responsible for doing photosynthesis and also exchange gases. One more example for this petiole to leaf is Acacia auriculoformis plants. The last one is modification of leaf to trap insects. Plants that grow in nitrogen deficient places adapt themselves well to get in. This is Nepenthes plant. In Nepenthes, the leaves are modified into a flask-like structure which is used to attract insects and other tiny animals. The inner wall of the leaf secretes some digestive enzymes that helps to digest the insects and extracts the nitrogen needed for the plant.
Let us do a quick recap of today's class. In today's class, we have learnt about 4 different types of asexual reproduction as vegetative propagation, spore formation, budding, and fragmentation. And we have also learned what are modification. In some plants, roots, stem, and leaves change their shape and structure to perform special functions like storage of food, mechanical support, production, and other important functions. This we call it as a modification. Under that, we have learned what are the modifications that taken place in root, stem, and leaves. Dear children, I hope you have learned how the plants increases their numbers by using the vegetative parts of the plant by asexual method. And you have also learned if the plant parts are modified, It serves as a food, and mechanical support is also there for the plants, and many other uses also happened for us. So you have to know that. And we have also understood that these knowledges of modifications taken place in the plants, which helps us to know genetics better in your future. Thank you. Hari Om, followed by eye exercises and Shanti Mantra.
Sitting, close your eyes and feel your eyes. And become aware you want to be grateful to your eyes. And you want to do something good for your eyes. Open your eyes. Look towards the right and towards the left. Towards the right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Close your eyes. Feel your eyes. And with each exhalation, imagine you send relaxing energy, light energy from your abdomen to your eyes or through your eyes. Open your eyes again. Look up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Close your eyes. Feel your eyes. And with each exhalation, send relaxing energy from your abdomen to your eyes and through your eyes. Open your eyes again. Now look to the upper right, lower left, 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 upper right, lower left. Close your eyes. Send relaxing energy to your eyes. Open your eyes again. Look towards the upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right. Close your eyes and send relaxing energy from your abdomen towards your eyes. Open your eyes again and make no circular movement clockwise. Look up and then slowly to the right and to the bottom and to the left and up to the right, down, and continue a few times. Try to make it complete circles and not just squares. This practice also helps to harmonize the two hemispheres of the brain. Now, other direction, counterclockwise. Do slow, conscious movement. And slowly close your eyes and feel the relaxing energy of your abdomen go into your eyes. Now open up your eyes again and stretch out your right arm, thumb, the level of your eyes. Look towards your thumb. Look far away. Back to your thumb. Now look towards the tip of your nose. To your thumb. Far away. Your thumb. Tip of your nose. Thumb. Far away. Thumb. Tip of your nose. Thumb. Far away. Thumb. Tip of your nose. Thumb. And far away. Close your eyes, lower your hand, breathe a few times, and send relaxing energy into your eyes and through your eyes. Now, lift up your hands a little bit and rub your palms, warming up your palms and increasing the life force, the prana in your hand and your hand chakras. Put your palms over your eyes and feel the energy of your palms radiate into your eyes. Feel that calming, soothing, relaxing energy. Slowly relax your hands, lower your hands. And one more time, rub your palms, developing warmth in your palms, feeling the energy in your palms. And put your palms over your eyes and feel the relaxing energy of your palms radiate into your eyes. Slowly lower your hands. Remain seated for a few moments. Breathe a few times deeply. Feel the relaxation of your eyes, relaxation of your mind. You can do this wonderful breathing exercise every day. Your eyesight will improve. You don't need to get headache. And you come to clearer and clearer insights. Lisa and Sukadev wish you a day full of
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.